Go.
Good morning, it's Jim with Becky behind the camera, and together we are With It Retirees in Beaverton, Oregon. Well, it is very early in January, and this is typical Beaverton weather. It's 48 degrees and drizzling, I think is the word we use here mostly. Just raining all the time. So we thought we would film because it's nice in here. And so today's topic, is, as you might have guessed, is going to be oil lanterns. So it kind of brings me back to my youth. When I was about 10 or 11 years old, I had a couple of lanterns just like this, and they were relatively common. Back then we called them kerosene lanterns, always. I never heard the word oil lantern until much later in my life, but we used to use them for, I camped with them. We did a lot of camping and hunting night crawlers, and they were not very good lanterns then, and they still aren't really, but they were much better and more reliable than a flashlight. And back in the day, this would be about 1960, we had flashlights, but the batteries only lasted a couple hours, and they corroded, and the bulbs would burn out at the most inopportune time. So basically they were not real good up until LEDs came. And so anyhow, you could get a little bit of stuff done camping with something like this. So this particular lantern, as I see on it, says here, souvenir of Monte Rio, California. And I had never heard of that place, so I looked it up, and lo and behold, it started life as a logging town in Northern California, logging redwoods no less, way back in the day, and then it became a popular tourist attraction for Californians, Northern California. So at one time it was quite popular in a camping area, and this would have been a souvenir stored at one of their little stores. So very interesting thing. Anyhow, I only light this up when I'm doing something special, so I'm going to set this over here. So one thing I want to say is the lanterns we're using are not very efficient for lighting, but that's not their purpose for us. What we use them for is heating. The lighting is pretty, it's ambient, and it may help you at some point, but the major function of these is producing heat to heat the greenhouse. That's about it. Anyhow, this is a fur hand, you can say it any way you want. They're made in Germany. Their logo is a hand with a flame in it. You can't really see it, but they have it on the cap of all the things. This particular model is called the Baby Special 276, and it's still made today. This is the very best modern oil lantern that you can buy. If you don't believe me, pick up any of the others like you might get at Walmart or even the Dietz, which you can send for. They make a lot of different kinds, which is really nice. But if you pick this up and feel it, the way it's put together compared to the others, there's utterly no comparison. These are the best ones. Let's start with the price. The price is all over the place. You can get them in anywhere from about 30 bucks up to 60 or 70 a piece, just depending on where you get them. So you need to definitely shop around. These things will run, if you keep them on a low heat or setting, they'll run for 24 hours. What I use them for is at night when I can't use a candle, which is cheaper during the day. So they come in at least 20 different colors, including pastels and all different kinds of things. I think they're just cool as they can possibly be, and they are really nice for just for show, if nothing else. So I typically would only run about 2 of these at one time. If it's, let's say it's gonna, I won't use any in weather like this, but if it's below freezing at night, I'll put 2 of these down And in the morning it'll be freezing outside, but it will be significantly above freezing inside. So that's really what they're for. Let's see. I want to show a little bit. Let's step back over here about how to take care of them and how to use them. First of all, I like this Zippo lighter. It's almost yes, it just makes it easy to light them. You flip this down. There you go. And it's lit. You can use a match or anything, it'll burn, but this it's got a hole in the bottom. You just put the can in and refill it. I've been using this for about 2 years, and I should have refilled it before we started this, but it's my favorite method. I'm going to blow this out. If you need to take one apart, they're basically, this is the front of it. You got a cap, an adjusting knob, and the way you lift it up to light it. If this doesn't function right, you can just pick it up and light it, pick the whole thing up and light it that way if you needed to. But if you want to take it apart for various reasons, you pick up on this and hold up on it and just slide that. It's going to pivot away from all this stuff here. So there's going to be a hinge on the opposite side. You let it go and you see it just comes out. This is, you see the fur hand on there. A very nice quality lamp. This is one of the things that's nice about a quality one is the, or a globe rather. This is clean. It was real dirty. I just cleaned it up just very recently. The way I found to do it that I like is to take a very stiff scrub thing, I don't know what you call this, and alcohol. This is 70% denatured alcohol, and just shoot it real good to get it, let it soak in alcohol, and that will come off if you use this and a little bit of elbow grease, and then it cleans right up. The nice thing about alcohol for anything you use is when you're done, it evaporates and it's gone. So it's good stuff. Anyhow, once you've got that off and clean, if you want to go further, let's say you want to clean or change the wick, if you take a hold of this little gizmo here and turn it like that, that just turns out of there, and the wick will come out like so. Now I'm not going to change this wick because I just did it. So basically what you do is the old wick will be in there, you turn it out with that, and you stick it through the bottom and you turn a new one in. I will say that sometimes it's kind of hard to get the new one to start. What I like to do, take a knife such as this and just help it up in the hole so it's tight up in there, and then it'll turn up and go up in here. And then you can adjust it. And then of course, do the same thing in reverse. And there you go. They're not very delicate. When you go to fill this, there's a fill cap. I like to just take a flashlight like so and just shine down in there, and I can see how deep the oil is down there. One of the big mistakes people do when they use oil lanterns is they fill them all the way up to the most they can possibly get in there. If you do that and you set it like on a counter, you know, in the house in particular, it doesn't matter much out here, they'll leak. So that's your tip for the day, is fill it to that line there and it won't leak. You fill it any higher and you're liable to get a little bit of leak. If a leak matters to you, then that's an important thing to do. Yeah, this, one more thing. These use a 1.25 millimeter centimeter, which anyhow, wick, which is very close to 1/2 inch. I'm using a 1/2 inch wick in them, and they work just fine with that. So they're slightly smaller. A lot of lanterns you get will have a 5/8 wick, or the metric equivalent to that. So these are a little bit smaller than some, but I still think they're the best lamps out there. Also, they ended all, if I was going to buy some, buy a pair of them. If they work, for whatever reason, they seem to be designed to work in pairs. So I would start off with that. And one last thing, when a safety tip, just make sure you're on non-flammable stuff, nothing flammable over the top. They're not particularly dangerous at a distance like this, so just be aware of before you set it and don't do crazy stuff. So we will see you next time.